All right, so ignore the mess. My room is very dirty, but I thought I'd do a little unboxing video, I suppose, for a package that just came in today, finally. Or actually, not finally. It's actually like 2 months earlier than I was expecting it to come. And it should be. It's from Numero Group, of course. Hang on. Hold on a sec. All right. Yeah. So I'm just gonna set the camera down. I don't know where. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna do this one-handed. Perfectly fine with me. So I've bought quite a bit from Numero in the past. A good chunk of my recent have been either from Numero directly or Numero releases. So this was when it got announced. I was like, I knew I had to get to it quickly because I knew it was gonna sell out fast. So I acted quickly, and I also managed to. It took like, it was like 10, it might have been like 15 minutes after it went live that it sold out. I was sitting at my college waiting for the drop, and then immediately I got on the site and bought it. Because, I was like, this is like, it's not going to get restocked anytime soon, probably. So I was like, why not get it now? And the shipping date said it was not going to come till February, which I believed, because I don't know why I wouldn't. So when I heard it was coming in today, I was like, well, that's a nice surprise. Yeah. So here we go. Yep. There it is. Jejune's This Afternoon's Malady. Co-produced by Mr. Ted Leo. You can toss that picture disc in the garbage now. That's funny. Alright. Yeah. It is beautiful. Finally holding this record in my hands. This album in my hands, period, is so like meaningful to me. I like how the copyright date says 2026. Like, they definitely intended for this to not really ship until 2026, I think. So the fact that it came in already is quite a surprise, I'm sure. So I'm gonna take a couple pictures of it, probably sealed up like this for the Instagram, because I was really excited for this to come. And yeah, that's that. I'm just gonna pause it and then resume it after I've taken the pictures and unsealed it. Okay, so I've taken a couple pictures now, so I'm going to actually unseal it on camera, just because, I don't know, this is meaningful. It really is. I'm not trying to be like, kind of like being over exaggerating, but like, this album is genuinely like so important to me. But it was so hard. It's so hard to find a physical copy of it, even at all. Never mind affordable. So I've lived off of CD rips for like 3-4 years now. While this album has easily become like one of my favorites of all time. So to see it remastered, first of all, remastered, but reissued on vinyl, nonetheless, for the first time in its entirety, because Numero's comment on the little sticker saying you can throw that picture disc in the trash is because it did get a vinyl release, but it was a very limited picture disc release, and it wasn't the whole album. It excluded a couple tracks. So let's open this up. So that's a really interesting way that they reorganized it. Because, I mean, in the original release, the original CD release, it was a booklet, obviously. I was kind of expecting a booklet, but this is also really cool that it just has all the pictures from the booklet, including the band photo there, and also includes a lyric sheet. I believe it looks like it's the same lyrics section as it did show up on the CD, because 38 Camulet doesn't have any lyrics, and I believe that's also how it is on the CD copy of the album, which is kind of a shame because it isn't an instrumental, unlike Nuclear Saturday. And I know for other Numero Group reissues, like the Chisel Set You Free reissue, which is the one I have. It's over there. You can see it right there. They actually included all the lyrics, which were excluded in the original release, I believe. So this is kind of a shame, but it's keeping it accurate, which is also appealed to some people. I do like how they did keep the thank you notes from the band members, as well as the thank you list and the original credits for the most part, minus their remastered for reissue and this section about the art direction, I believe, as well as the layout, and then this section is the same. So one of the things about this release is it's not on one 12-inch, it's two 12-inches, because obviously the album wouldn't fit on one 12-inch, as we know now with the picture disc. Hold on. I have to be careful. I don't want to damage it. Sorry, it's a little jammed. They pack it really tightly, to be fair, so. But I am being as careful with it as I can be, because I don't want to damage this, like, at all. So that is the sleeve. Numero does this a good amount, especially with releases that are more than one LP. What they like doing is they put kind of like a little ad in there on the sleeves, which I think is a really interesting way of like advertising. Actually, I might be wrong, because I think they usually do this for one LP releases, not two LP releases. Usually if it's a 2 LP release, they put it as a separate flyer, but that's just from my experience with a couple of these. So this is on the red vinyl, the red solar vinyl, which was the Numero exclusive, and was a little bit more expensive, so I'm really excited to see what it looks like. It's thick too. It's thick vinyl. That's kind of standard for numero. They like using high quality discs, which is nice. And that is quite a beautiful color. And you can, okay, let me put it on camera so you can see it. So I don't know how well it's coming out on camera, but it's a deep red. It's a very deep red. I'd call it probably closer to blood red. Realistic blood red, not like super bright red. And something else that I just noticed while I was holding it up to the light to really show that color is, let me zoom out because you really can't see otherwise, is that it is, yeah, you can see it better in the light. It is very deep red, but you can also see, again, I don't know how good this comes out on camera, but you can also see little black on there, which is a very cool and probably unintentional detail, but I think it really adds to the color. So yeah, and this is how it's laid out. So this is the first 3 tracks. Morale is low, coping with senility, and this title track, and then because it's and then it says side A on it. And then if I flip the record over, you get the next 3 tracks, which is Fixed on the One, Sitcom Epiphany, and Solar, and that's side B. So yeah, let me get the other record out as well, so we can get a look at that, and I can see whether they continued the little like ad kind of on the other sleeve, because I don't know if I've seen that before. I kind of want to see that. So we're gonna put it back in its sleeve. Can you tell this is like the first video that I've ever done this like kind of unboxing kind of style? I'm only doing this because it's, you know, a new release and I've never done that before. Usually I just unwrap and play it. But this release I feel was special enough that it warranted such an event. You know, I know I was very excited that I was able to get it. In my excitement, I accidentally sent it to the wrong address. It was my I accidentally sent it to a different address that I don't live at. But thankfully, the numero group support was very willing to help me, which is nice. And they changed the address on the order so that it was correct. And now, of course, here it is in my hands. I also bought the junk vinyl. I bought it in the meteorite color, I think, which is a gray. So I'm excited to see that, and that's supposed to be coming in soon as well. But I ordered this first out of the 2 because I knew it was going to sell out faster. This Afternoon's Melody rather than junk. I knew that this album was going to sell out first, so I bought it in anticipation of such a thing. And now here is 1/2 of that order, but it looks like what they did is, yeah, they continued the ad on the other vinyl as well, but it is different releases, because I for a second I thought it was going to be the same releases, but no, it's different releases. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, I like how they do it, like the designs on it, although I kind of wish that they had like kind of like a traditional, and I mean like traditional as in like how some labels did it back probably when these records were released originally, where they just put a catalog in there. And I think doing it in other labels like Styles and stuff, or like reimagining that style kind of would be cool. And I think that's something Numero should try out. I think with some of these next reissues. So yeah, same thing on this record. I think the red might be a little bit more obvious on this record than the other one. I don't know if that was. I doubt that was on purpose or what, but I think the red is a little bit more apparent on this disc rather than the other one, especially on camera. You can really tell the difference. So this is side C, which has Nuclear Saturday, Regrets or Unanswered Dreams, and Demonica. See, it says side C. And then, if we flip the disc over, we have the last 3 songs. So it's side D, which is 38 Camulet, 1 Transmission, and Same to You. See, so it's side D. I really like the fact that they were able to fit all of the album on it. I would have not, I'm glad that they were able to get all of the songs on the release. I'm very happy. I haven't tested out their playing yet, mainly because I really have been meaning to clean up my player, so I'm gonna probably hold off on playing these just yet, but I do know that the remastered version of the album sounds like really dynamic and incredible, and I think Numero did a great job. Or Jeff Lipton, I believe, he remastered it, and he's done a lot of work for Numero for remastering stuff. So he's done a great job before, and this is just another good job by him and Numero. So I'd like to say that it probably sounds pretty damn good. The one complaint I think I have about this release, and it is not much. I am glad that they were able to reissue this album at all, right? This album is seriously, I believe, genuinely, I know I'm putting in a lot of, sequiturs before I say it, but, it's genuinely one of my favorite albums of all time, not even just in, the emo kind of genre. It's genuinely one of my favorite albums ever. So to own it physically, that's, a dream in and of itself. So I can't complain much. What I will complain about a little bit is the fact that it didn't come with, a booklet. I really had hopes that it would come with, a big booklet that would, again, the Set You Free reissue. I didn't expect it to come with any bonus tracks. I kind of just expected it to be the whole album, but I think it would have been cool if they included a couple of, bonuses kind of with it in a booklet, all the lyrics or a couple additional photos that we haven't seen before. I think that would have been cool, but they're probably saving that for the box set that they're probably eventually going to make. I believe that that's going to happen eventually, probably a box set, which would be cool, I think, but that's probably not going to happen for a little while. And if not, I hope they reissue RIP next, which would be very nice to have. Now, getting to the complaint I had, I don't know if they're releasing this on CD, which is kind of a shame. I know Numero recently announced that they were doing a CD club subscription thing, which I'm not going to say is bad. I'm just going to say that we really shouldn't have to pay for a subscription to get CDs of Numero releases. I think they should just come standard. And I know that means thousands of releases at this point, or very well into the hundreds of releases on both vinyl, CD, some are also on cassette. Applying for all of those, Numero definitely, being kind of, I think, an independent record label, especially reissuing releases, they don't have the money to do that, and usually it's by demand. But I do wish that for some releases, especially releases like this, they just sold it off the bat, because not everyone buys records, even in the emo sphere, I feel like. So apparently they're considering it. I hope they do, because seeing this album come to CD for the first time since, like, you know, when it was released in 98, I think, that would be really cool, not just for me, but for anyone who wants this album physically. I do have a record player, and I do have you know, a bit of a collection. So, like, one part of this is I really wanted this album for the longest time, and two is, you know, being able to have paid for it officially. I had a burned CDR copy of the album, and I burned it literally right before I think Jejune got signed to Numero. So it's kind of a shame that I didn't that it came after the fact, but you know, it's great to have this album in a physical form, especially by a label that definitely cares about quality, like Numero. Um, yeah. So I am looking forward to when Junk comes in. I'm probably gonna film another video like this, even though I don't like Junk as much as This Afternoon's Melody. Not to say that there aren't good songs on that album. It's just that they're a little bit less good. And I know the band probably agrees with that, but I just like this album so much that I knew it had to be an instant purchase pretty much, because otherwise it was going to sell out. And I'm very happy with it. I'm probably going to be playing this on my record player soon. And that's all you really need, I guess. I guess that's the end of the video. I've never done a video like this where I've shown off a release, especially opening it and looking in it for the first time. So I have quite a bit of other releases, including a couple of numero releases that stream backwards, and that from C Clamp, and that's Butterflies Don't Go Away by Majesty Crush. Ignore the Weezer in the background. And then, of course, Set You Free by Chisel. And I also have, you can kind of see it, I think. I don't know. It actually might be behind Weezer. But I also have the Everyone Asked About You compilation, Paper Airplanes, Paper Hearts, and the Native Nod compilation, This Can't Exist. So I could do some showing of these releases then, and I'd be perfectly open to that, because I'm pretty sure this is going on the second channel, not the main channel, because this isn't really main channel material to me. But then again, I post basically anything on my main channel at this point, so it's not really like it has much of a meaning. But, you know, I'm more than happy to finally have this release in a physical form, especially remastered. I'm ever thankful that Numero Group cares enough to even reissue it physically. Yeah. So I'll probably film another one of these when Junk comes in. And yeah, I think that's all. So, yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. I'm not good at talking about my YouTube videos, so I guess do anything you do when you like a video, whatever that be. And, you know, maybe I'll see you in the next one if I end up doing another one of these. See ya. So I'm opening this, huh? I meant to upload a video. Ignore the mess in frame. I can't be bothered to, because I just got this back. I was supposed to get the video of me opening This Afternoon's Melody out the day I filmed it, but I had to let my sibling borrow this phone, and they just gave it back to me now. And while they had it, which was longer than they told me it was going to be, this came in the mail, which was the other half of my purchase the day that this afternoon's malady got announced. Let me move Texas is the reason out of the way. There it is. Apparently I can't zoom in or out. There it is in all its beauty. You can, yeah, the hate's right there, but like, admire it in all its beauty. You already heard all about it. Now here's on to the good stuff of this part, I suppose. Yeah, my room's still a mess. Yeah, so this should be junk, which I'm also looking forward to opening. Just give me a second. I'm gonna try something. Okay, now it looks a lot better. Yeah, that's better. It was automatically in 0.5, which would explain why everything looked super weird and stretched out. So let's get to opening this package. It's difficult to open one-handed. I still don't have anything to really perch this up against, so this is the best you're gonna get. I'm trying to be careful with it though. I don't want to damage it, obviously. Okay. Hang on. All right. I got it open. And there it is. Technically, that date is no longer incorrect. I mean, technically speaking, it wasn't incorrect in the first place. Move the box out of the way. And there it is. Junk, baby. Boston Music School's Refugees 1997 debut, referred to as Junk by bassist, vocalist, engineer Arabi Harrison. The 8 songs contained herein showcase jejune's pop-punk affinity and pop and alt-rock aspirations with a youthful push-pit energy. Get lost in a 30-minute geography sampler of Kilimanjay's Midwest emo and mass whole hardcore remastered and refreshed from the original dog-eared atlas. Duct tape not included. And this is the gray meteorite vinyl, which is the colored vinyl. It was the special one. Yeah. So, much like what I did for this afternoon's malady, I'm going to take a couple pictures of this for the Instagram, for the collection, and then I'm going to open this up and we're going to take a look inside. If there is an inside, it kind of looks like not really, but I have heard that there is like an insert that has lyrics on it, I believe, about this, so we're going to take a closer look into that. I really hope there is. If it didn't come with lyrics, that's going to be a little disappointing. Yeah, so hold on a minute. Alright, I'm back. Now that we've got that done with, let's get to opening this thing. Taking it out of its packaging and getting a good look at it. Again, difficult to do one. Maybe pop it on this. Maybe that might look good. I can't tell. I'm probably not even in frame right now. I do just have to say, this is a very beautiful, like, use of the art, I feel like. Like, it just seems so high quality and big. Of course, because it's on a bigger surface. Of course, it's going to look better. That tends to be the case. So, let's get to looking. So, it does look like, unlike This Afternoon's Malady, it is just one record. First of all, it's just one record. And then it looks like it just... No, there is something in there. There's something in here. Yep, okay, so it does have a sheet. It does have a sheet with what I assume to be our lyrics. Yep, there you go. That's from the CD. And those are lyrics. Yeah, there you go. Again, I am noticing that in numero, keeping everything accurate to the original release, like, we just don't have full lyrics, which I guess is only really relevant for Radical Firepower. But then again, some of these lyrics might not be, I'm sure these aren't the entire lyrics for every song. It's the same thing with This Afternoon's Malady. Although, I would like to say that I really do wish that it was another fold-out, shows off all the lyrics, the full artwork. I really like how they used these pictures for the original booklet. So, I suppose it's fitting that they just included the sheet of it, like how it was on the original booklet. I do think it's kind of a shame that it isn't like an actual booklet. Same thing again with This Afternoon's Malady. I feel like I'm repeating myself with it, but that is just kind of how it is, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to insult it that much, because, numero could have just not done anything. I just do have to remember that it goes back in there. Yeah. Realistically, maybe they shouldn't have folded it up. They could have just made it a sheet. But, that way people wouldn't have missed it. Because I remembered the way I found out about it was effectively like someone posted, I think, on Reddit about it. That if it came with one, or it might have been on the Emo Archive server. I'm not 100% sure I remember, but somewhere I remembered reading that it's just a sheet. So now we get to the good stuff, which is the record itself. Held in this sleeve. Let's get a good look at this, I suppose. No, yeah, you can see it. You can see it. I don't know how well it'll come up on camera, but you can see the colors of it, which is supposed to be gray. I was kind of anticipating a bit of a lighter gray. Meteorite color kind of made me think of a lighter gray. This is kind of a dark gray, but you can tell that it isn't just black. It's lighter than black, but it kind of looks blackish. same thing, I believe, on the other side of the record. You can tell. The only way you can really tell on camera is that there are white markings, or white. It's from making the color of the disc, I'm sure. You can tell it isn't fully dark. You can tell. So it is colored. I did notice that I just noticed this. Does it have all the tracks on the... So it doesn't have it on the labels, the actual labels. It just says jejune junk, and then which side it is, and NUM 936, which is, of course, the catalog number. Yeah, I mean, that's junk, really. There really isn't much else to go into depth on, because there really isn't much else to talk about, I suppose. I mean, of course, we should be just grateful Numero Group reissued these albums at all, but I feel like there is room for a little bit of criticism, I suppose. Like, I guess my main criticism is with this booklet, or sheet. I'm actually gonna just keep it unfolded in my record sleeve. If it can fit in the record sleeve. Actually, it might be a bit bigger than the record sleeve, so it might have to fold up like that. That might be why it had to be folded. You know I should be grateful. And I am. I'm grateful that I even have a copy of this, because it sold out so quickly. Both both This Afternoon's Melody and Junk, even though, unsurprisingly, Junk took a little bit longer to sell out. I think it might have taken a couple hours for the colored vinyl to sell out, and it might have taken a couple days, maybe, for Junk to sell out as a whole, like just the base black cover. And I really like what they did with the art, like, as in, it's faithfully reproduced. It's not low quality at all. It's high quality because they had access to the original art. And yeah, I mean, I'm grateful this is even out there in the world again. Same thing with This Afternoon's Melody. I just completely missed zooming in on that. Yeah. But, I have qualms with it. And, they're just minor problems, realistically speaking. And that's just coming from me. It's just coming from me. Like, the perfect version of this release would be like, an expanded version. Like, it's got, maybe it's got the singles, or, well, what I mean by that is, like, the split tracks. Like Drive By Negley. That would be nice to have on a record. Or, on This Afternoon's Melody, maybe having, like, songs from around that era, 98. Something like that on this record would have been nice. Or on that record would probably be nice. They're probably saving that for the box set, like I said, probably in the first half with This Afternoon's Melody. What they're going to do, probably, is release all these albums separately, and then at the end of the day, or later on, they're going to release a box set that has all of these, probably on records, but with bonus tracks, like, Drive By Negley being on being on the comp, all the R.I.P. tracks, which I wouldn't be surprised if Numero reissued onto vinyl, because I don't think that's ever been put on vinyl. I think that one's also only CD'd like Junk. I believe that's only been on CD. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. But they're probably going to do that one day. We already know that they are working on more jejune stuff, because they reissued, they remastered the full version of That's Why She Hates Me from R.I.P. So we know that they are working on the stuff from that compilation. They reissued the Garden Variety split with the jejune Garden Variety split, now that they have Garden Variety on their label. So that's also a possibility. They could have done more. I haven't really kept up with numero at the moment, but I'm anticipating eventually something will come out of it, like a box set or something. Maybe something like what they did with Unwound. There's a bunch of possibilities. And numero tends to, not be really consistent, so you really can't guess what they're going to do with a compilation, and they're cryptic about what they're going to do, so we won't have any idea. Hopefully something comes out, and maybe it might be on CD, which might be the more ideal one. I would hate to have to rebuy this album in a box set. That would suck. I would really hope it would be on CD. Not that I don't like vinyl, it's just, as opposed to CD, it's a little bit more difficult for me to own vinyl, because you could put a CD in any CD player realistically and it'll play right. But for records, you have to have, like, what most people say, you have to have, like, all these, high-tech machines in, like, the record players and stuff, and they can't, and, like, some record players will damage your thing, and you have to, it's very high maintenance to listen to records, and it probably was back when the records were first being made. It was probably even more difficult. Nowadays, it's more modernized, but it's still got those past problems. And I think if vinyl was like CDs, but in this size, but you didn't have to take that much care of them, or as it not what I meant by that. I meant by like a record player. Yes, that is my record player. Yes, it's a suitcase. No, I will not get another one because that one was a gift, and I'm not spending $600 on something that can play this when a CD can do it in higher quality. Yeah, I said it. Higher quality. I don't care if it sounds better. Yes, vinyl crackling does sound nice on a record. And yeah, records do have a nice sound to them. However, I like CDs more because it's, one, more convenient than records. Two, it's better sound and it's non-compromising. Whereas, albums have to be mastered for vinyl. There's certain things you can't do on vinyl because it would cause the records to get damaged easily. Like, you have to lower the bass so that the vibrations of it don't cause the needle to jump, And simply put, I think CDs are more, they're easier to sell than records. They're easier to sell than physical vinyls. Because CDs, cars aren't made with CD players anymore, but people are still driving around with cars that do. My first car still had a CD player in it. My new car probably still would have had a CD player. It's from like 2012, so like it probably would have. My mom's car, which is like even newer than that, still has a CD player in it. My dad drives a truck that still has a tape deck in it. Like it doesn't. It's more convenient to have it on something like CD or cassette than have it on vinyl. But numero kind of like records is their thing. They'll release it on record long before they'll release it on CD. And I feel like that shouldn't be the way to go. But I'm sure they have their reasons. But again, they don't exactly say why. So all I'm saying is I wish this was on CD more than records. But I'm very happy that this exists at all. That Numero just decided or planned this at all in... and it could have been a cop-out. It could have been low-quality art. It could have been dog shit mastering. It could have not included lyrics at all. It could have been nothing, but at least they put some amount of effort into it. So I have to be grateful for that at some amount. But, I think I'm allowed to have a little bit of criticism. I own it. I bought it with my own money. Same thing with This Afternoon's Melody. I bought it with my own money. And it's not a letdown. It's just criticism. That's all. Yeah. So, I guess that ends this because I don't have anything else to say really, and there's nothing else to open because it's all open. So yeah, yeah, I meant to post these in separate videos, but I think it makes more sense to just keep them in one video, one big video, and put it up probably on the second channel. This is probably a second channel video realistically, because I feel like it doesn't make sense to do unboxings on my main channel, or at least not really. So the second channel video probably. Then, well, yeah. This one's gonna go right next to this afternoon's melody, and yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say, I guess. Well, thanks for watching. If you like this, cool. I don't really have anything else to say, because I don't usually do this. I just felt like doing it when I got this afternoon's melody in the mail, and because I wanted to be consistent, I wanted to do it with junk, too. If I did an unboxing of every single CD and thing I got this year, that would take quite a while, because I bought so much music, it isn't even funny. So, really, when it comes down to it, this is kind of a one-time thing. And it might be a one-time thing where I might start doing it more often if I feel like it. It's always if I feel like it. That's how all my stuff is made. So, you know, maybe this might be the start of a series. Maybe it might be the only episode in a series. I don't really know, because the second channel is kind of whatever I feel like goes on the second channel and on my main channel. But I still want to put stuff up. So, yeah. Yeah, sorry about not getting this video out before the new year. I mean, Happy New Year. There's my celebration up there. Yeah, Happy New Year. I realize this is the first video I'm putting out on either one of my channels, probably, after the new year. So, Happy New Year. And, yeah, I'll see you guys then. I mean, if you want to subscribe, it's the second channel, so you'll probably get notifications for literally everything I do that isn't on the main channel, because I just post random videos, video game clips. I also put my Twitch streams whenever I do Twitch streams, which I've started to do recently again. I started doing them recently again, and still figuring out how to do it on my phone, because I don't have a computer that can do it, but we're managing, and those all go up on my second channel, which is supposed to be what this is going up on. And who knows, maybe record unboxings or CD unboxings or whatever the fuck unboxings, you know? So, take care, and I'll see you guys. Bye.